Game.
You ready? No debate, cause they sold. I'm too official, got the drip, I got the sauce. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth, yeah. Still standing and defiant. Slay the competition, cause I'm walking like a giant. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth, corner booth.
I see as well. Kate, I feel like I have not officially said this. I've tiptoed around it. Kate, will you marry me?
Do I have to answer now? Or
No, you have time. You can think about it. You can think about a way to say no without hurting my feelings if you want.
Oh
lovely. I'll send you a letter.
Just don't even.
Alright, cool. Thank you. Shit. I'll send you my address later so you can send it to my house.
Yeah, I'm never giving you my address. I don't want you getting that close.
Oh, I know.
That last video always gets me.
Boys and
Every
girls,
time.
welcome to the Korner Booth Prod. Korner Booth Pregame. Special guest tonight is from High Low Sports. Everything about this man is amazing except for his football fandom. Kelsey from High
Oh, I think that half the nation would disagree with exact words you just said.
What's his team again?
The other half hates your guts. That's
Ah.
the issue. It's one and the same.
You know what though? To be fair, I'm converting. As soon as I see these white Bengal uniforms from the Bengals, I might officially become a Bengals fan.
I am
Yeah,
convinced that Will Ferrell designed those jerseys himself because all I see is kicking and screaming from that fucking movie. It's just white and not blue.
Yeah, no, that's so bad.
Ooh,
They've been
Beth
trying
Moo
to
hockey.
perform for years. That is our girl Beth.
Oh man, what a day! A lot of topics today. A lot of fun stuff to talk about.
So Matt is the best write-up writer I've ever had because he gives me a paragraph. I'm literally in the middle of making an estimate, and I'm literally reading like, holy fuck! Like Kevin gave me some good write-ups, but to Kevin's credit, Kevin also had a full-time job, and the person behind Matt, we're not going to talk about him as I punch my microphone.
Jesus.
I will say this though, I gotta give you credit, buddy. You fucking killed it with this one. I only read half of it. And I'm like, holy shit, that's enough.
I just felt like the last last night and then into today, I just felt like my phone just kept going off. Bleacher Report and shit just was like random, just wild shit just started coming out. I was like, this is perfect because we got a show in like 6 hours. So I was like, keep them coming.
It's amazing because the last two shows we've been literally running out of gas. Last week was fun, but also was kind of lame. I kind of hated last week. I loved how Beth.
I'm jealous. I'm jealous you guys get all the breaking news that came out today because I was like my show yesterday we had 4 things and then all of it happened before 8 o'clock when we went live. I was like, oh,
you remember me and Kevin had that streak back in like the winter where guys were getting signed literally after our show ended.
oh, every time
We had the Devontae Smith thing break literally in the middle of my birthday show.
yeah. No, look, Carson went to the Colts last year. We had the episode about, we see him going to the Colts potentially or somewhere else. Literally not even like after 20 minutes after we hit publish, it went official. I'm just like, come on, guys. Can we stop this?
It could have been like a little earlier.
You
Like,
could have
at
also
least
been
make me
last.
credit.
I mean, listen, I was on Kevin's show last night. Shot the tailgate in the quad for taking me on and talking about ACC football yesterday. My power went out in the middle of the show for 30 seconds when it was still like 94 degrees outside.
Eversource, man.
Good thing you're outside, right?
That's tonight, man. As long as the Wi-Fi signal doesn't go out, we're good. But I don't know. I only record this show outside. I record the rest of it because I don't smoke cigars in the other shows. I like just this one. So
Yeah, what are you smoking tonight?
I am smoking a Monte Cristo White Series, courtesy of our friends over at Big Buddha Cigar Lounge in Newtown. So
It's you.
very solid cigar, good smoke, very light too, which I appreciate that because I've smoked some Modernos, which for those who don't know, is black tobacco. It's rough.
Not gonna lie, I think I'd go to that place solely because their name is pretty cool. Big Buddha Cigar Lounge.
It's a cool place. And no, Beth, it's not because you weren't on. Listen, you were on last week. I love that you came on for celebrity appearance. It was the lack of topics. Like we were literally pulling a strings for the last 20 minutes of that show.
Well, now we got some some good stories, some big stories, some
Let's
funny
talk about
stories.
the first one in the news. Kyler, the little man, Kyler Murray's getting paid, man.
I've got I got Spot Track pulled up right now, and the numbers are insane. So 5 years, $230.5 million. He's gonna get a $29,035,000 signing bonus. He's gonna be making on average $46,100,000 a year. Guaranteed at sign $105 million. Total guaranteed $160 million, and he's gonna be locked up until about 2028.
So much money for a first round exit.
And he's making $965,000 this year as a salary, and then next year he jumps up to 29 mil.
Jesus.
Or 46 mil.
Well,
like
no,
I
so
said,
he also makes that 29 mil now. As soon as he signed that on the dotted
Oh,
line probably
yeah.
today, like.
It's like,
What
oh
would
my
you do
God.
with that type of influx of cash? Like, just stop for a second and think. Like, you go from making six figures, like obviously 6 figures for him is still, I mean, for the rest of us is impressive at 965,000. But like, you get 29 million in the bank account on Thursday of next week. Like, what do you do? What's the first thing you buy? Like, it's crazy.
But it also says guaranteed at sign 105 mil. So like, is he getting like that big lump sum of a check?
It's every year he's on a roster after during the roster rollover every year. So once it goes from 2022 season to 2023 season. But yeah,
Man,
I'm with Beth. Can I borrow 500K?
Yeah, right. Can I borrow like 20 grand so I can go buy a house?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, this guy, I don't know off the top of my head. I'm like, if he hasn't bought a house or a car already, I'm doing that. Put a little Bitcoin money in there somewhere.
Yeah, I guess we're talking about Kyler, so him and Hollywood Brown can go in halvesies on a e-gaming team.
Right.
They got to still pay Hollywood too. He's got to be coming up eventually. Not like he's gonna get. I mean, it's tough to say he's not going to get a bag because Christian Kirk just got a bag and he hasn't even had 1,000 receiving yards. But I don't know.
I think that might be one of the dumbest free agent contracts I've ever seen.
That just pissed me off so much because it just speaks to how terrible of a GM that Trent Baalke is. And then also the fact that this dude, like I said, has not had 1,000 yards in a season before receiving. And you're going to give him $24 million a year. And now you're going to just drive the market up for every single fucking receiver that just does enough. They're going to immediately get 24 million minimum just because Christian Kirk got it.
See, I agree with Beth on this one. I would also, of course, I'd buy a house, but I'm not buying a chef. I love cooking too much. Definitely buying 2 new cars with that contract. At least a brand new custom Camaro and a custom Silverado Trail Boss.
A nutritionist. Maybe not a chef, but a nutritionist for sure.
Oh, I'd hire a nutritionist.
I would definitely employ a nutritionist.
Oh, I'd also put like the world's most crazy, like not like rock level, but like out of this world home gym in my house.
Oh yeah, definitely hire
it doesn't have to be like crazy high, but just like nice new equipment.
I'll get a coach.
I put like a 40-yard turf track so I can run sprints.
I get a fitness coach and make sure I pay him every time and not like Antonio Brown.
Yeah. Like he gets paid first. Everything else. By the way, Hollywood Brown under contract next 2 years. So he's halfway through his 4-year, $11 million extension.
Wow, has he really only been in the league for like 2 or 3 years now?
It's been 4 years now.
Mm-hmm.
This is his 4th year.
Wow, it feels like I thought he was
Same
coming up
draft
on year
class
5.
as wasn't he same draft class as DK and AJ Brown?
2019.
Yeah. He was the first receiver off the board, 2019. I remember the Eagles traded for Andre Dillard. Oh my god, that hurt.
Do you want to say that again, just so you can remember all that pain and anguish?
Listen, he's a good trade piece, and honestly, he played good as a backup last year when guys got hurt. I wasn't complaining about his play. He's not the worst guy we've drafted in the 20s at offensive line. Shout out Danny Watkins for only starting 6 games. Woohoo! Andy Reid, to his credit, could never draft O-line well.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Looking at his numbers, Kyler's actually got a pretty good stat line. That doesn't say it doesn't say his win-loss thing on Spot Track, but he's got a little over 50. He's got just under 1,600 passing attempts. He's completed almost 1,100 of them. So he's got a 67% completion percentage. He's got 11,500 passing yards. Averages about 250 yards a game passing. 70 passing touchdowns, 34 interceptions, 314 rushing attempts. almost 1,800 yards rushing, 20 rushing touchdowns. But he's got a lot of fumbles, so he's got 27 fumbles.
Wow.
But not a bad line, though, for a guy going in year 4. Not a bad line coming on to a team that, just got off of Josh Rosen at that time and got off Steve Wilkes as a coach and everything.
It's crazy.
So I just want to add some pain to Jared real fast. So Jared, talking about that 2019 draft right there, talked about Marquise Brown being that 25th pick first receiver.
Oh, I know where this is going.
Between Andre Dillard and their next pick, which was J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the following receivers went off the board. Obviously, Marquise Brown.
A.J. Brown.
N'Keal Harry. I'm just going to go ahead. I'm just going to name him in order. N'Keal Harry, which is okay. That's fine. Deebo Samuel, by the way. A.J. Brown, yes. And Mecole Hardman. And then shortly after J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, Paris Campbell, Andy Isabella.
And then we passed on Metcalf again with our second round pick. Honestly, if I could go back in time, I would look at Howie and go, hey, Howie, what we're going to do is we're going to go get this guy called DK. With Carson Wentz's arm strength, I don't care if he can't run slant routes. Just go straight. With the fact that we have Alshon Jeffrey over the middle with Zach Ertz, we don't need a guy to run routes. We need a guy to go straight. And that Sanders guy, draft him, but get him some fucking help with a power back.
Yeah, seriously.
That's okay. You know what? It worked out for the best. I'm actually kind of happy how everything worked out. Also, shout out to a special company I want to give a quick shout out to tonight because I bought their nameplate. So everyone knows Wentz and A.J. Brown were the same number. A.J. Brown is now number 11, the Eagles. I want to give a quick shout out to a special company that is doing God's work. That's Twillworks. I don't know where they're out of. I just purchased my A.J. Brown nameplate to put on my Nike jersey. Much love, okay? Because listen, it is my biggest regret as an Eagles fan of recent that I spent $85 on a Carson Wentz jersey that was on sale in the October before he got traded. And I just missed the jersey assurance by 6 days. And then I got pissed off and didn't return it.
Oof.
I need to write that down because I've got a Sam Darnold, Le'Veon Bell, Robbie Anderson jersey that I'm no longer rocking. But if anybody wants to pick up 14, 26, and 11, I will get a new nameplate right now for them.
Yeah, so basically, I'll send you the link. They have a special one for the A.J. Brown one was so popular, he had to set up a special page for it.
Oh,
where it's got the pre-made font, it's got the pre-made lettering, coloring, everything. I just have to measure the name. I'm sweating too much to have these sunglasses on. Shout out to Yeats. God, it's fucking humid out here. I should just. I'm. It's like I'm down with Beth in Florida right now.
That's what it felt like today.
Dude, yeah, check this out. So I'm on Twillworks website right now. Yeah, they're based out of Seattle, Vancouver area. They have two team specific nameplates: the Seattle Krakens, because they just keep changing players over, which makes sense, and then the Philadelphia Eagles. They have Pro Stitch Kraken jersey customization, replace my jersey nameplates options, but like two specific teams because of that's how popular that.
Well, here's so funny, right? So shout out to my boy Eagles Galaxy. If you're an Eagles fan, you don't follow him on Twitter. You should. He's actually really good at for highlights and everything else. He found them, like he was just searching if it was possible. It was his idea, and he goes, "Oh shit, these guys are actually good at it." He hits them up. It got so popular that now they're like, this guy said his business tripled almost 180% in the last 6 months since AJ Brown, or 5 months since AJ Brown got traded.
Yeah.
That's insane to me. And honestly, I'm kind of looking forward to it because I love AJ Brown. I loved him before he went to the Eagles, and now I get to root for him. And now I have to pay $120 for a jersey, which I can save because my favorite player on the Eagles is Hurts. So if Hurts gets the contract, then I will buy a Hurts jersey. I want some assurance from the Philadelphia Eagles not going to fuck me like they did with the last guys I bought jerseys for.
Well, look on the bright side. You get a Hurts jersey now, and then in 2 or 3 years, if they don't, you just visit the website again and go get whoever.
His contract's up this year, smartass.
Oh, listen. Wait, Jalen Hurts' contract is up this year?
He's only at 3 years. He's on a second-year deal.
Oh.
Second round pick, man.
Hey.
So listen, I'm sorry. I know it's hard for you guys, you Jets fans, to understand us not burning our first overall pick on quarterbacks.
Listen, you're going to get it right someday.
I mean, we did. We won a Super Bowl with a backup.
No, I'm talking about us. Not you.
Yeah, right.
This might be the year.
Listen,
This might be the
Hey,
year led
listen,
by the
if there's
Cougar
any
Hunter.
quarterback who encapsulates what I think that the Jets need to be, it's Zach the MILF Hunter Wilson.
I will say this is the first quarterback since Joe Namath that has had any wild shit like this come out. It was from Joe Namath with the pantyhose commercial to Zach Wilson fucking banging
What about
moms.
Sam Darnold kissing teachers at a bar in Hoboken getting mono?
No,
Oh
wasn't
yeah,
teachers,
Sam
though.
Darnold. Yes, and then he saw ghosts after that.
Yeah. So let's not talk about Sammy D.
No,
But no, Zach. Look, there's a reason Zach Wilson went to BYU. If he wasn't Mormon, he ends up at Washington State. It's all about Cougars. Like, man, that dude is. And the best part about it, he didn't do anything wrong. Like, he wasn't
what
like,
she actually looks like, right? She's a smoke.
oh yeah. That's the thing. He didn't do anything wrong either. He like wasn't in a relationship, nothing of that. Like, he just hooked up with his mom's friend. Like, bravo.
and now Dax Milne is like the number one most hated receiver in the entire NFL right now.
You mean the practice squad player known as Dax Milne?
Yeah, the one that's gonna be
like this dude's life didn't suck enough. Now he's like as a pro ball player. I mean, in perspective to like guys like me who have to work in blue collar sales. Either way,
he still makes $450,000.
Let's do quarterback. More quarterback news. Matt, who's the new backup for Jacoby Brissett in Cleveland?
So the Cleveland Browns are facing the inevitable Deshaun Watson suspension, which is going to push Jacoby Brissett in the QB1 role. For anybody that was like, you know what, it's okay. Jacoby Brissett is not a bad quarterback. He can win you some games if you want to throw him in there for a little bit amount of time, whether it's a 6-8 game suspension, whatever it's going to be. But when you look at who you have behind him, you really have to hope and pray Jacoby Brissett never gets sacked this entire year, because the Cleveland Browns savior behind Jacoby Brissett is none other than the former first-round pick, Josh Rosen.
Love that.
This makes me so happy. This is just fucking karma for Cleveland.
You guys have no idea how happy I am to hear all this, because being in Cleveland and seeing that they signed Josh Rosen. It's like, oh, God bless America. Like, there is some kind of deity up there playing karma and dharma, and it is fantastic right now.
Cleveland banked its karma for so long to get Baker, and for Baker to get them a win over their hated rival Steelers. But then they screw him. And they don't expect retribution from the universe? Baby girl, this is the worst of it. This ain't the worst of it.
I'm not even I won't even put this on the Baker situation. I'm going to put this fully on the Deshaun situation. Like, you just brought in a man, paid him that much money, knowing full well there's 30 plus cases, knowing there was collusion with the Texans, and you didn't interview anybody, and you signed him to that kind of contract.
I consider
this is like,
because they replaced the guy who just had one bad injury-riddled season, who led them to the playoffs. It's not his fault you can't keep a good receiver besides Jarvis Landry. Odell Beckham played 10 total games for them in 2 years?
Yeah.
It's
Rashard Higgins is the next best receiver next to Jarvis.
Yeah, right. Donovan Peoples-Jones is their best receiver until they just got Amari Cooper, who's going to disappear in the playoff, disappear in big moments like he always does.
Yeah.
Yeah, no complaints out of Kelsey. He would run to the other side of the field when he saw Darius Slay.
Oh, yeah. He'd run to the other side of the field and he'd forget his hands on the way.
Exactly. We love to, Amari Cooper against the Eagles pre-2020 scared the piss out of us. Post-2020, when we got Slay, ain't no problem. I was more scared of Gallup.
It's funny you say he scared you, because honestly, his best plays were flukes.
I know they were. Well, like one was Douglas.
Yeah, like one was a drop pick that bounced in the air and he picks it up, runs it for 40 yards for a touchdown. It's just like stupid crap like that he gets credit for.
He also busted up Ronald Darby's ACL. He was never the same player again.
Well, Ronald Darby was never the same player to begin with since he left.
Well, no, once Calvin Ridley took ownership over him, yeah.
I can count the number of Alabama players that have come out of college and not been a good player. And it's ridiculous. I don't have enough fingers and toes to do it, but
Kevin might be listening. I don't feel like having a war in my comment section.
That's okay. I can tell you it's more than 60 in the last 10 years.
Say what you want about Miami. They don't even their mediocre players are still solid.
Yeah.
Like their last bust was DJ Flowers. Besides that, I can't think of a bust they've had since I was.
Because they haven't had anybody in the league in 7 years.
Dude, they have Miami guys.
Other than Greg Rousseau. Other than the last
Rousseau,
two drafts.
Rashawn Jenkins down in what's it called? Artie Burns. Jalen Phillips has been very good.
Did you just say Artie Burns is good?
He's okay. He's a good man-to-man corner. You just can't cover anybody in fucking zone.
Well, he'll get there
You mean-
eventually.
You gotta take out everything after a good man. I'm sure he's a good guy, but other than that, I don't know if there's good around that.
He's a man on the field
Yeah.
wearing a jersey, getting paid way more than all of us to be crap. Which is I could do his exact job and get half of his paycheck and be happy.
You might as well go call Kev's guy D Milliner and see if he still's got it.
Yo, okay, Mister. I can't turn my hips.
Yeah, that was the ever since. Well, no, I shouldn't say ever since.
His first highlight in the NFL was him getting smoked on a double move, and I'm like, yo, this kid's got tighter hips than a dude out of an arthritic ward.
The fact is he didn't get beat on the double part of the double move. He got beat on the first half of the double move.
It was
That's
a
what's
slant.
sad.
He bit on the slant and fell down.
Yeah, I thought there was hope for him when we signed Ed Reed at the end of the year, and he had like 3 interceptions the last like 4 weeks of the season. Like D Milliner, I really thought there was hope, and then it left, and it just never came back.
Speaking of losing hope, the San Francisco 49ers have decided to open up trade market for Jimmy G. Now,
Finally.
I'm not saying I think Trey Lance is going to be crap, but I'm kind of insinuating it.
I agree.
Can we flash it back to a couple weeks ago when I was on the show and I said these exact words that
No, Kelsey, I never doubt your football intelligence. I just hate your fandom.
oh yeah, no, it's fine. But like, can we get a replay? Like, can I pull the
I
footage on
honestly,
this one?
this
Can
is
I
why
get
I
the
wish we
receipts?
still
'Cause,
had,
like,
wish we still had an intern because it would have been perfect.
yeah.
That's what's up right now.
No, this is exactly what I said before. Like Jimmy G, they were not sold on Trey Lance, and they still aren't sold on Trey Lance, and now they got to pay
gave him the
Debo.
trade market. They said that they're better off like not trying to pay him because they got to pay Debo. They need the
Exactly.
weapon.
That's why they need to pay Debo. But the problem is Debo won't be good without Jimmy G because
So I don't think Lance will be that bad. I just think Lance is going to be a dorkier, faster Carson Wentz.
it's going to be Colin Kaepernick all over again, playing wise. As far as it's going to be a lot of broken plays that he turns into positive yardage with his feet, which is fine.
But he doesn't have Jim
he's gonna
Harbaugh to navigate this.
He's going to continuously overthrow his receivers every single time, and it's going to be really annoying because he's not going to be able to hit short and intermediate routes because he's going to overthrow them all.
It's going to be a rough one. I think so. Me and Matt had this prediction. I said only one team out of the NFC West is going to the playoffs, and that's the Rams.
You know what? I'm starting to think the Seahawks might. I've said this about Drew Lock. I think he's still just fine as a
Dude, Drew
quarterback.
Lock with DK and Lockett is a terrifying prospect.
And no offense,
And he's never had receivers like this ever.
yeah, and smart receivers, intelligent receivers. Like Tyler Lockett is one of the most intelligent receivers out there, and he actually if they can just fix.
He may look like a meathead. The dude gets open.
Oh yeah, DK's biggest problem is for some reason, as big as he is and as physical as he is, he gets thrown off by physical play from a smaller corner. It's like he's afraid to throw him out of the way sometimes. But
I don't know if something happened between 2019 and 2020, dude. Like, because I watched him bully guys on the Eagles secondary, and then like the next year he was
Eagles secondary isn't small though. That's the thing. Eagles, like I'm talking like look at Jason Verrett. Jason Verrett caused that dude havoc, and Jason Verrett's like 5'8", 120 pounds of like a mighty
a Tasmanian devil.
If you cut his hair, he's probably 20 pounds lighter.
Yeah,
I
like he might weigh 100 pounds.
You man, like the fact that he's getting a second wind is like awesome.
Yeah, but no, I'm just like it's for some reason he just if it's like somebody that's up to DK's belly button for some reason DK is like I don't know what to do right now, and it feels like he's afraid to get a penalty like by throwing somebody out of the way.
I'm still giving the Seahawks like a 7-win cap, like a ceiling to me. Listen, the offense is there. I mean, you got to see what's going to happen with Chris Carson. I'm not sure about his health. I know Rashad Penny showed nice little signs last year, but he's not the answer. But what did you say? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Kenneth Homer, baby.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Homer just came out of nowhere, but Kenneth Murray as well. But they got the offense.
My boy DJ Dallas. All the U-backs in the backfield up there.
Dude, they have like 5 good running backs. None of them at the moment are like number one starting running backs besides Carson if he's healthy, but they're just all can just be used in their own way. But they've got the offense.
They're all solid like gadget backs.
Injury prone.
Yeah.
Dallas and Homer never got hurt. They were just
they haven't played enough games for the Seahawks yet.
Well,
I will say this: DJ Dallas didn't get hurt a single time when he was at Miami for more than like a game. And he was like 90% of our carries.
Miami might have something in the Gatorade bottle, just helping them out a little bit.
Yeah, right.
It's not the turnover chain anymore.
Yeah, honestly, I'll address this now. I'm actually not that upset about it. It was cool, but what started rubbing me the wrong way was when they went away from the original design. Just keep the one design. It was cool. The U is synonymous. You don't have to put fucking Sebastian on it or the fucking 305 with Florida. It just got cheesy after a while. Guys, just keep the U. Nobody cared. And then they made it weird, and it just got like 5 different iterations of it. And it became something people mocked. And honestly, I get why Cristobal is trying to start a new rumor. Dude, those 80s and 2001 Miami Hurricanes team, they didn't have no gimmicks. They just punched you in the mouth, talk shit, and went back to the locker room.
And then punched you in the mouth again.
Exactly. Shout out to Alex Brown for that black eye.
Well, you got
RIP the turnover chain. You were fun, but it's kind of a good thing you're gone.
Yeah. I'm kind of tired. I'm kind of over this whole turnover chain moment in college football. Because, like, once you start breaking out trash cans for turnover chain stuff, it's like, okay,
or like a weird
looking
looking backpack that some kid would wear to high school. Shout out Florida State.
You know what I like though? I like when the sports teams, whether it's baseball, football, whichever it is, when you let's say like baseball, for example, you hit like a walk off, you win the game for the team. You give them the big chain, the little thing they fold it around.
That's badass as fuck.
That I like. But every time you get a turnover, things like that, I'm like, all right, dude, you're
that's a
killing
perfect transition. We're talking home runs. I got a bone to pick with a fucking MLB and ESPN. They owe me and Matt fucking money.
Oh, I was so pissed.
They like shoved Juan Soto into that shit. Now, after what I heard about what happened to Juan Soto with the Nationals not paying for him to go to the home run derby, fuck Washington. Yeah. First of all, I hate that town anyway, politic reasons. But also, like, how petty of an organization can you be? Like, he just want to take on your contract. Oh, I'm sorry. You treat him with class and respect, you fucking piece of garbage.
Yeah.
That's why Bryce Harper left your ass. Because you guys are a trash organization. They
didn't charter him a flight. He had to just pretty much fly commercial. Then he had to wait at the airport for a couple hours. And I think he got to his hotel at 1:30 in the morning before the home run derby.
Yeah.
I mean,
and he still won.
Still won.
Yeah, he still won. Oh, I mean, that's asterisk on it because he shouldn't have even beaten Schwarber.
Kyle Schwarber shouldn't be in it to begin with.
I know. Well, he's like Kyle Schwarber beat him or he tied him, but they count an extra home run for Juan Soto. I'm like, are you fucking kidding? And they didn't count one for Schwarber.
Yeah. It's the home run derby. Let's be honest. Like,
no,
I was only there. I was there for Albert Pujols and Julio Rodriguez.
I wanted Julio. No, Matt had money on Julio. I had money on Julio, and I felt cheated.
I had a $70 credit, so I just put it on Julio. I was like, "Fuck it, the odds are nice." I had money on Pujols too, which would have paid me like $2,500 just for like $100 down. But I had like a $70 credit, and I was like, "All right, fuck it." I threw it on Julio. Would have paid me like $660 or $670, and I'm like, as soon as he went to the finals, I'm like, "Holy fuck!" It's like this guy gets 22, 23 home runs. He's got this, and fucking flopped at like 18 or 19.
I had a $7 bet on him, and it was gonna pay out almost 50. I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'll do my fucking beer money for the week. Let's go."
Yeah, at that point, what's $10 when you could win like 80 from this fucking kid?
I only threw down 15 total, but I was still fucking mad about it. I'm like, also because Pujols would have probably beaten Schwarber. Pujols did beat Schwarber. Pujols would have beaten what's it called? I don't even know. Pujols getting the second round was awesome, but then Pujols versus Soto was so depressing because I was like, the old man he can't do it.
Also, shout out to Domingo Germán for finally getting off the injury report after like a year and a half or however long it's been. He just served up 2 back-to-back solo shots to Yordan Alvarez and Alex Bregman.
Also, if there's any like Yordan Alvarez is just a fucking mule.
Speaking of the Astros, speaking of also guys that didn't get chartered to the All-Star game, did you guys hear about that?
Yeah.
Oh, I love this. How they pay for the A's player to get there? That's amazing. You know what?
They put him on their plane, on their private jet that the Astros All-Stars are going because the A's are like, we're going to fly you commercial from Oakland to LA, which to be fair, you're jumping on a puddle hopper no matter what. Commercial is literally all you can fly from Oakland to LA as far as like some of those puddle hoppers go. But like the Astros being like, yo, yeah, we see you, you're a division rival and you're on a contract year. Hey, why don't you come fly with us and to the All-Star game? Like
smart marketing.
Yeah, remember this when it comes to the offseason.
Call the Astros cheaters, but they're not idiots.
Hey, you got to cheat within the rules, right?
Yeah,
they
right.
found the rules.
That's just called good. That's just called good business.
And also,
Here's my
if
question,
I'm,
to you guys. Go ahead.
oh, sorry, I was gonna say if I'm like Billy Bean and anybody else in that front office, I would be the most embarrassed individual in the entire MLB after that
I don't
story
think
comes
Billy
out.
Bean's there anymore. I think it's a ghost of Billy Bean. They shot him and put him in a closet somewhere.
Well, imagine if the Diamondbacks just didn't fucking put one of their guys out on a charter play, and then you got a division rival comes
It's
in. It's
almost like that happened already.
Yeah,
Like,
and then the Giants
during
actually
during
flew
the
him out.
Kevin Towers days when, hey, let's get rid of Justin Upton, but then pay ridiculous money for Yasmani Tomas, whose nickname is the Tank, because he's the size of a fucking Abrams. And then it
Two
cost
things.
us Paul Goldschmidt.
Two things. The reason why the Justin Upton ever signed with the Giants to begin with was because he remembered that they flew him out for the All-Star game. But then also, I got to get you guys' opinion. All-Star game jerseys. Did you like the
I
gold
thought
this
they were
year?
solid.
I
Not
wasn't
the best.
I wasn't a huge fan of the American League ones. I don't know, just
Yeah.
The gold,
just seemed-
the National League ones were solid.
it just seemed the American League ones just seemed plain. It was like a dark jersey with dark lettering. It just looked like somebody was just like, all right, we have like an hour to do this. What do you guys got? Throw it
The
together.
hats were gasoline though.
Yeah.
That's
So
nice though.
I gotta say, even the helmets. I was a big fan of the just a straight black helmets with the AL on it and then the NL on it. That's just it's smooth to me, especially considering when I looked at those, I actually thought like, oh, this looks like something I'd see in LA. Like I'd see it in LA Fashion Week, some charcoal and gold and some white and gold back and forth going against each other. But like those, I don't know. I guess we're one of the few that didn't hate those because I still love that they were the same, like they were the team jerseys, but they were just one color. Like I love that idea because like the Cubs jersey in the black and gold was fire. Like oh my god, or in the white and gold was just on fire. Like that was fantastic. And like
the Diamondbacks
one
the D-backs one look like a reverse of their Serpentes jerseys.
Yeah, they look fantastic in my like as far as what they've done in the past. Some of these ugly ones we've seen in the past, like
oh my
or
god,
what they used for the celebrity game. Those half Brooklyn gray with the neon green or the neon blue, like those were awful.
That was so stupid. I did love seeing Bryan Cranston try to knock out an umpire though. That was fun.
Oh, that was hilarious.
I'm a big fan of Bryan Cranston most of anything, and especially knocking out umpires.
Yeah.
The only thing that would have made it better is Angel Hernandez was there.
Oh my god. No, but he's banned because the MLB's racist. No, it's because you fucking suck, dude. It doesn't matter what race you are.
God, he's so bad. He's like one of the worst statistical umpires.
Oh, no, you know what I related this to? Okay, so today I'm at work, right? And it's like post noon rush, and we're just sitting there. It's like 2:00, starting to drag a little bit. And I get a call. It's the caller ID. It's the guy who I replaced. He's calling. I'm like, Grays Bridge, this is Jared. And he goes, who? I'm like, Jared. He goes, is Leo there? I'm like, Leo's my coworker. He goes, yeah, he's with a customer. He goes, he's what? I'm like, with a customer on the phone. He goes, well, I'm like, I'm not going to give it to you until he's done. He goes, I'll tell him to call you back. And then Leo, and he calls him back, and he's like, who the hell is Jared? It's like, it's the dude that replaced you, bro. And I'm like, wow, okay, so this is awkward. This is really uncomfortable. This dude apparently tried to sue my boss because it was age discrimination. It's like, no, dude, it's fuck-ups. I go into my files on my computer, and I see his fuck-ups. I'm like, oh, my God, dude, really? Like, I had a customer today. His name was Roger. The guy spelled it R-G-E-R. He capitalized it this time.
You only missed a letter. I mean, you're doing pretty good if you only missed a letter.
He doubles up like half our customer. We have like 85 contractors who rotate with us.
Oh god.
Plus minor like residential people like who come in like for their own like houses. And like he puts everyone in for a new file. There's like 5,000 like profiles on that freaking server for QuickBooks. I'm like, god damn, guys. But yeah, no, that was my little anecdote why it's hilarious that Angel Hernandez is bitching his racism. I wanted to go like one last thing on the MLB All-Star game. It's the best. Okay, I like the Pro Bowl doesn't count. NHL All-Star game's okay. NBA All-Star Weekend was fun back when the slam dunk contest was fun. But yeah,
it's boring now. Honestly, the MLB All-Star game is the one that I actually tune into. That's slightly entertaining. Oh, actually, no, I rephrase that. I still tune into the NHL All-Star game as well, and that's actually probably one of the few NHL moments where I actually will tune in full time, just because it's a little more interactive.
I like those two sports all-star games mostly because they actually like try. They put the effort in, they play. Like you watch like the Pro Bowl, and I'm just like so tired of watching guys just like push a dude out of bounds or like try and just like do this half-ass wrap up. And I'm like, come on, guys. So, like, what are you gonna get? Like you're sprain your fucking ankle? You got like 7 months until you go back to the field.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And you have injury insurance there too. That like pays out $1 million if you get injured in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
So,
it hasn't happened in like God. What was the last thing I got? Besides the dude who got concussion from Sean Taylor taking his soul away, I can't remember a guy who's gotten hurt in the Pro Bowl.
Oh, was that was the quarterback? That was It was the Chiefs quarterback at the time. Not Trent.
Trent
Yeah,
Green?
was it Trent Green? Yeah, was it Trent Green that got
Maybe.
knocked out on the sideline?
That's crazy. That was
think
so
that's the last
long
time
ago,
I saw an
man.
injury,
I was 10 years old when 11 when that happened. Sean Taylor was a rookie, I think, that year.
Oh, You don't go soft against Sean Taylor though ever.
Sean Taylor
was a rookie or a vet. It's like you don't go.
That's
soft against Sean
okay.
Taylor.
So I'm trying to go through through StockX and shit to get a hold of one of those Sean Taylor Adidas jerseys. I was broke when it came out. I want one of those Sean Taylor U jerseys. Like that's like my go getter right now. That I'm trying to find an Andre Johnson Miami jersey because right now I have a Ray Lewis throwback from the '90s and I have a Ed Reed jersey T-shirt, but I want my Andre Johnson, my Sean Taylor.
PristineAuction.com.
Ooh. There you go. Subtle plug. Speaking of subtle, Darren Waller wants a new contract.
Give
So
him a
Darren-
new contract.
There is
Well,
no
he's a
reason
subtle
why
human
you should
being.
not pay Darren Waller.
Yeah. This goes under a just pay the man. Don't overthink it.
Yeah, I mean he's consistently been top 3 to 5 tight end the last like
Consistently
4
your
seasons
only
or so.
weapon that stays healthy.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Relatively healthy.
Breaks.
Josh,
Think about
I
the
have
team you're
always
talking-
heard Jacobs. Like Matt did his running back
Think
running
about
back
the
rank
team you're
video the
talking
other
about
day.
right now.
And the disrespect from Miles Sanders, first off, sir, pissed me off. Second of all, listen, okay? Besides feed Zeke's giant gut, I don't want to hear it, okay?
All
No.
right, Kelsey.
I have a bone to pick with some Madden folks about Tony Pollard right now, but later on. But we're not going to get to that yet.
All I'm
All right.
saying is when I'm talking about
Zeke's trash. But
Darren Waller, it's that this man is he is the modern Vernon Davis. He runs like a receiver, but he's 6'5" or 6", and he jumps out of the damn building, and he's a nightmare he's a nightmare. He's a faster, leaner Gronk. Like, how do you cover him? Leaner because he's not as physical as Gronk, but he's like if Kelvin Benjamin embraced the Big Mac and actually became a tight end.
I mean, he did embrace the Big Mac. He just
But he didn't become an
embrace
actual
the
tight end. He got
position.
cut.
Yeah, he just didn't embrace the position. But no, I don't know about. I wouldn't go
Fine.
Vernon Davis, just because Vernon
Maybe
Davis
more like
enjoyed
he's
blocking.
the predecessor of Kyle Pitts.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. But like, I just as far as like those tight ends go, I think he's more Shannon Sharp-esque as far as the fact that he doesn't block as much
Hats off to you. That was perfect.
as Vernon Davis. Vernon Davis loved to block. The Vernon Davis extended his career by 10 years by just
Vernon
going
Davis
out there and
was a
blocking.
sick motherfucker too. He would I watched that dude cut back block on people and knock them out. It was crazy.
Yeah, but like I think but my point about like Darren Waller not being the only one, you're forgetting Hunter Renfrow and Devontae Adams are now a part of that team. Like those two are weapons and they are always healthy. Well, at least Hunter Renfrow is. But
Fair.
But no, Darren. I mean, look, this is like the biggest no brainer of going and paying somebody. Like, just like I feel like Jimmy G finally getting permission to go look for a trade. It's like it should have happened a long time ago. Like, he shouldn't even have gotten to the point where it's coming out that Darren Waller wants to get paid. Like, of course he wants to get paid. He deserves to be paid for what he's done so far for that team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he's still he's going to be 30, but he's still a 29-year-old tight end right now. And he's, like I said, the last 4 or 5 years, he's been like a top 5 tight end in the league consistently every single year. It's really a no-brainer to give this guy at least a 3 to 4 year deal for whatever money he wants. Because at this rate, I mean, you see Kelsey's in his early 30s, and he's still the best in the league.
Yeah,
Tony G did it until he was like, what, 35?
Dude, tight ends nowadays.
Tony G did it to 39.
Yeah, and Antonio Gates was like 37 when he came up.
Yeah, he might have even been like 38.
Tight end is one of those positions you go for a while because you don't need to necessarily have like blazing speed to beat people. You just have to be smarter than them. Greg Olsen played to his 37?
I mean, Jason Witten.
Yeah.
One of the-
Well, listen,
the-
Jason
the-
Witten is he came back because he realized he could not talk football on
Yeah,
air.
that was
Well,
bad.
okay, we're not going to talk about his time in the booth. We're going to talk about the fact you don't need speed to be Jason Witten. You just ran to the first down marker.
I had to put
as
that
the
in.
slowest way
Chelsea.
possible.
Chelsea, I had to put that in there at least once.
He was the worst. He's the second worst former player to booth commentator I've ever heard of,
Who's the worst?
behind only Booger McFarland.
Booger!
Oh.
Booger's great at college ball, which cracks me up.
College is fantastic. No, I'm not talking college. I'm
the
talking
Booger Mobile.
I can't believe they fucking put that guy in the field.
Also, I don't know if you guys ever noticed. So they had the camera set up. So if like I'm here, the camera I'm at an angle toward the camera and it's down, and all you can see is his messed up fingers the entire time, front row center in the camera. And I'm like, I'm getting sick because I know what caused those injuries to the fingers, and I know how bad those look. Like that's just like stop. Don't focus on Booger McFarland's fingers on the Booger Mobile. That's not what we want to see. We want to see
Defensive
football and
linemen
when you're
always have
losing
fucking
plays.
fingers. Ex-defensive lineman right here. I have 6, 7. I have 2 curved pinkies now. I have a couple. Kelsey, you were D-line, right? Or
I
O-line?
was O-line and D-line, yeah. So you
Okay.
name it, I've busted up a fingers. Like
Yeah.
I mean, my fingers are
I
I have
broke
fingers that
6
are rotating.
fingers during football and basketball in high school. Never splinted any of them because I was a sick bastard. I just taped them to the other ones.
Exactly. Yeah, that's all we did. We will or tape them to the other one with a popsicle stick in between.
Monte Cristo. Yeah, my
That's,
dad who played about a year or two of high school ball, like literally has like fingers looking like this.
It's always high school though. It's like it's always high
Well,
school.
I have buddies who play D1 ball, and they're literally like, dude, are like, literally
The
like
tape job. The tape job I got in practice at Auburn, I will tell you this: if I had gotten finger injuries during practice, it was because I was being a dumbass. Like that's the tape. Like the tape job I got in there, and I'm a walk on. Like I was a walk on at the time. The tape job I got was like it prevented any sort of jamming of my fingers unless I was just straight like taking my hands and poking it at the guy's chest. Like that was the only way I was ever going to.
Did you walk on?
It was 09.
09. Okay, so you
09,
were,
10.
This was pre Cam Newton.
Or yeah. No, it was sorry. 10, 11, sorry.
So yeah, you were
So
there
say-
for
yeah.
national championship year.
I was injured and dead and on the sideline and not even with the team anymore when they win a title. Yeah. But
So do you? I gotta ask this.
I
then. Did
started
you
I started the fall with them, yes.
Okay, so like, did you actually get to meet Cam and any of these dudes? Like,
Oh yeah.
you tried to block Nick Fairley at one point
Yeah, and I got put on my ass.
because he's a fucking monster.
I also put him on his ass one time, and that's the only time I've ever like sort of
Hell, how
celebrated
tall
the
are you?
moment. Like me? 6'3".
Okay,
So like I'm not the biggest guy in the world.
I'm 5'11", dude.
Well, yeah, fair enough. But no, I mean, I got him one time, and that was the best time of my life. And I celebrated a little bit, and then I got yelled at for celebrating putting a fat lineman on his ass
Oh,
because all the coach said was,
Kelsey,
he just tripped over his cleats because he's too fat to tie his shoes. And I was like,
you know
God
who
damn
the
it,
NFL
don't
player
take
with the
this from
same
me.
size as me is? If I lost about 10, I got down to about 10, 15% body fat. You know who size I am? I'm the Kobe Dean size. I'm 5'11", 225.
Yeah, it's good luck.
I mean,
Dude, they
listen,
put us on eating programs down south. I don't know what I don't know how you guys do it up north, but
up
down
north,
south they put us
nah,
on
that's
eating
all
programs.
genetic, baby. They made us eat fucking regular shit. They let the strong survive.
Nah, they were like, all right, so you're gonna have to eat this many calories to be able to make this team, and you have to eat this many calories per day, and we're gonna weigh you every day.
That's
Cool.
crazy.
Nah, it was miserable.
All right.
People wonder how you stay big when you stop playing college football really early.
You know what's crazy? I stayed big because I started drinking.
That's exactly right. You lose
I
college
was-
football, you got to fill it with something.
Well, also,
I-
Matt's known me for God. How long has it been now?
I don't even know when we
years,
started.
9 years.
I don't even know when we went to college. It was so long ago.
2013 we started.
Oh
so
my god, we were 10 years from a freshman year almost.
almost.
my-
Yeah, we're
Shut
we're
up.
8.5, 9 years. Yeah,
I literally
Matt,
just named out my sophomore was my redshirt freshman year. Like so, 2 years in college. That was in 2010. That was like I graduated
Man, I
in
was
09.
I was a
Matt,
sophomore.
Okay, so
2010
yeah,
in high school.
So Matt, Kelsey was a senior in high school when we were freshmen.
Get out of here.
Jeez.
Well, also Matt's also seen.
All right, guys, I gotta go.
No, it's okay. Hey Kelsey, for reference, Matt and me have seen each other both go through giant weight loss, weight gain, weight loss, and weight gain again. Matt's kind of kept his off. Pandemic kind of did me under.
Yeah, I'm like 193 right now. Used to be I used to be 232. Then
My
I
heaviest
just
was 290 during the pandemic.
and then I got down to 170, but I look like a unhealthy twig. So I was like, fuck that. So I went up to 180, 185, felt amazing. And then once I got over 190, I just felt terrible. So now I'm just getting back under there.
Thank you for making me feel better, Beth.
Well, I was going to say the only reason why I was giant as a little kid was because my dad took me to get fucking Happy Meals every day after school. And I didn't know anything better being 6 years old.
Sean Jackson.
You know what got me as a kid was my grandma would always tell me, like, if you could pitch it into your fat, right? She would grab the chunkiest part of your body where your waist goes in. She's like, all right, well, you're fat. I guess we're getting ice cream tonight.
Oh, man.
That doesn't equal each other. Like, that doesn't make sense.
Oh, my favorite was like my grandmother would like just like, Jared, you're putting on a little weight again. I'm like, God damn, grandma, shit.
Oh, Bianca's grandfather
Sorry,
would just be like, you're getting fat. He would just say it, just right out loud that she would tell me. Just once you get to that age, it's blunt.
Like it's fine she'd say it, but then it's the fact that she'd give me ice cream afterwards. Like yeah, that's totally gonna help me not be a fat ass.
I'm not gonna lie though. Now that I'm not working manual labor anymore, I'm losing weight because I can eat a normal diet. And it's crazy. I sit at a desk, but I eat like a smoothie for breakfast. I eat nothing but lean protein and like low carbs all day. I drink beer almost every day. I'm still losing fucking weight. It's crazy. And keeping my muscle, which is even crazier.
What muscle? I don't care.
All I saw was that sweaty armpit ring.
Yeah.
There's a sweat.
Oh, it's just a reflection, maybe.
Bro, listen. I gotta start moving in heat to start sweating.
Dude,
I make it a little thing on my face, but like my body doesn't start sweating until I start moving.
I could sit in my bedroom in the cold AC and play Madden and just sit there and I will sweat. I don't know what it is. It's fucking crazy.
I'm sweating right now. So, like, I know exactly what you're saying. Like, I'm literally sitting still in an AC room, and it's just like, I'm still like, just, it happens.
I'll be out the shower for 10 minutes and I'll sit down and I'll go like this, armpit sweat already. I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah,
I know. It's crazy. All this shit's crazy, man. Like, let's be honest though, the losing weight thing is a fucking. Can we also? I want to say this is off football topic because we are all gentlemen who have been bigger weights or trying to lose weight or whatever. We all try to go through this battle, all three of us, right? So, I hate that I am the smartest I've been about it now when I'm 27 fucking years old. Like, I hate the fact that, like, I've been trying to lose weight since I was 12 years old. It finally started clicking as I am like starting to like lose my hair and fucking I have like early signs of arthritis in my fingers. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, I actually get that wholeheartedly. Like, I wish somebody had told me as a kid what I know now, and it's like,
100%.
Like, if I knew that then, like, if I knew it was just all about like, because I don't eat a lot of extra shit. I just eat a lot of shit. Like, that's the best way I can put it. Like, there's a lot of food, but it's not a lot of extra like gross like fattening food. It's just there's just a lot of it. And like, if I had learned it was moderation, that was all I needed to do. That's
and also just like, I also found out this the other day. So apparently, like, this is the whole thing. I guess they're trying to push this stupid freaking fake meat shit now. The Beyond Beef, fellas, stay away from it. I've heard nothing. All the dietitian friends I have, they're telling me the same thing. It's like, Jared, do not eat that stuff. It is terrifying. All this vegan fake meat is awful for you. It's nothing but carcinogens and carbs and fillers.
But
like a black bean burger, great, awesome. I'm talking about this like Beyond shit. That stuff is not good for you.
Oh yeah. No, I was thinking like you said all vegetarian. So I was like, well, hold on now. The black bean ones aren't that.
No. There's a lot of good vegetarian food out there. You just have to supplement with iron and a few other things. But vegetarianism, if you are really wholeheartedly into it, you can do it the right way. But the problem is this like cheap shit they're pushing. Like, give me my lean beef, give me my steaks, give me my lean pork, give me like whey. I take meat-based protein powder now. I don't even touch whey anymore. Because one, I'm lactose intolerant, so like whey protein is like worse for me than mozzarella. It
That's
literally
another
is like,
one. milk.
Oh,
Milk-
Kelsey, I tell you, I lost 15 pounds in a month because I cut out dairy.
yeah, I was about to say milk and like milk byproduct. I never realized how
Cabot cheese.
shitty
By
that
the way,
is for
Cabot
you.
cheese. I want to be sponsored by them. No lactose in their cheese.
Nice, okay.
Also, provolone is pretty low, so you can get away with that as well.
Yeah, but like that shocked me, like how bad that was for you, and just how much it doesn't help anything like that, and then just certain certain carbs. So actually, that's another one. Did you guys ever have the day before the game, the night before the game, the carbo loads?
Yeah.
I would just
You
eat
guys
like
do
a
that?
shit. I would just go out and get some fried chicken and French fries, man. I would just eat like a fucking Southern boy.
Well, that's just it. Our coaches gave us the carbo load diet, so it was just a bunch of pasta. Turns out it doesn't do anything for you. Turns out just it all goes to waste because
Carbo
it won't
loading, they
sustain your
prove
body.
it's 4 hours is the window. It's not 20. It's not 12. I
Yeah,
mean, if you have a
no
new game,
hold.
if you get up at 6 and eat pasta, and you pass and you get it all in your system by the time 11 like warm up start, that's different. But like it's the same. You have to treat playing football like you're planning for an intense 3-hour workout. You carbo load 4 or 5 hours before a game. You don't carbo load like 8 hours or 12 hours before.
Nobody told us that when we were growing up.
I know because the science has been changing since we were fucking. I had a
That's what
fitness
kills me
coach.
is like,
I had a
damn,
fitness
can I go
coach.
back to that?
Me and him linked up on Twitter. I mean, what some of the shit he says. He's like one of those like alpha dog guys, like no cigars, no beer, no porn, like one of those types. Like you can't do shit, whatever, right? But it's like a lot of the shit he says makes a lot of sense. He's one of those like Andrew Tate like disciples, like where it's like everything's very like cut and dry. Like listen, cut through all the bullshit. There's a lot of truth there, and the biggest thing I've learned is one, dude, eating chicken. Like one of my favorite snacks is chicken bacon. You know why? It's like 4 strips is like 20 grams of protein, 5 grams of fat, and it fills me up for 3 or 4 hours. I packed 2 lips of Canada Dip. By the way, shout out Canada Dips. I don't have a lip on me right now, but listen, wrong one. Canada Dips. Promo code BELLYUP20 for 20% off. I have me and Matt burn through this shit like crazy. I'm actually going to reach out to them this weekend and see if they'll give us a code because we move this shit. My boys all buy it. My former boss buys it. Like Beth buys it.
I'm like another couple days away from having to get another like pack of them.
Yo, I've okay. So I have 2 pack. I have a pack and a half left. By the way, yeah, Beth is on it. The other one is shrimp. Shrimp is so low. It is less than a gram of fat per serving.
You followed the Canada Dip thing up with shrimp, so I'm like, there's not a shrimp flavor.
I was super confused. I can't lie. I was with you, and then all of a sudden you just said,
okay. Yeah, my bad. I like because you got McCarthy and Beth. Shout to McCarthy for coming through for a little bit. Oh, McCarthy, I'm drinking more of that anniversary ale by Kate May. Phenomenal. My boy Brian actually just went on vacation with his girl down there. He brought me back like $30 worth of that shit. I was like, fuck yes.
Oh.
Also, by the way, Atkins diet is not fucking healthy for you.
None of that fat shit's healthy for you.
nah.
Also, ketosis. I yelled at my parents the other. I'm like, you got to eat carbs. They're like, we do. I'm like, no, you don't.
No, ketosis. Dude, you're gonna
I give my mom because I know when she's watching Netflix tonight, I'll sneak her some popcorn or some fucking pretzels. I'm like, eat carbs. You need.
You have all this fat and protein in you. You get whatever you get out of it if your body responds to well.
Ketosis breaks your kidneys.
Yeah, as soon as you try and because it's protein overload.
Too late.
As soon as you try and just be like, I earned it. Let me get some French fries. Boom, 5 pounds.
Yeah. This is the same guy who literally I one time woke up, smoked a cigarillo, drank finished the beer I had next to at a party I went to, walked downstairs, drove home, slammed some pre-workout, went to the gym for 3 hours. This is like 2 hours. This was like 6 months ago, 7 months ago, whatever it was. I'm that same person, like where I have like those like country boy tendencies where it's like, okay, I don't give a fuck, I'll be okay. But at the same time, it's like I'm taking better care of my body 5 to 6 days a week, and then the 7th day I just go fucking batshit, which is usually Saturday.
I can't believe you drank a fucking warm ass beer.
It was not warm; it was still in a cooler.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
It just it was like the last one in the cooler. I walked out to my car, I slammed it, got in my car, and drove home.
Maybe don't tell the story in that.
It was like a Coors Light or some shit. I didn't care.
Maybe wait 6 more months to tell the story in that order.
I was definitely sober, and I had 1 beer, so I would have passed the Dewey.
Maybe.
I'm
We'll never
240.
know.
I'm 240
We'll never
pounds.
know.
240
We'll never
pounds. I
know.
could beat a breathalyzer with 1 quarter light in my system.
I love how you're telling that story though, and best dropping the eat well balanced meals.
Right? All right, what else we got on this tap today? Matt gave me like the best freaking tap list of all time today.
Well, and
Wow,
very,
Jacob. Wait, holy fuck! Speaking of weight loss, Mekhi Becton pushing 400 beans.
oh
Jesus
god,
Christ!
I was hoping you were gonna forget about that one.
I wasn't.
Dude, I don't know what's going on with this guy. I'm confused, honestly, because I'm seeing him post videos on his Twitter of him working out and him lifting all this shit, and he actually like looks like he's not in bad shape. Yeah, I can see the muscles popping out. I'm like,
Could this
okay,
be
cool.
like a in shape, like kind of an in shape high 300? Because he's a monster of a human.
Well, because like I don't know. I keep hearing, oh, he's coming back. Oh, he's looking good. Everything seems good. He's coming back after training camp, this and that. And then I get oh, fans need to, wake up and realize what they don't want to realize. And that's Mekhi Becton is like 400 pounds and he's like 30 pounds overweight. And I'm like, I don't know. This guy had a pretty good rookie year. Thought he was going to be a top left tackle in the league after that. Thought there was a lot of potential. Year 2 wasn't his fault. He got injured, got misdiagnosed, whatever. They didn't think it was going to be as bad as it was. And now he comes back and they're saying he's pretty much fat. But like XL fat, like 400 pounds as a offensive lineman when they want him to be 370 or 380. I don't know. I was sweating it in the draft a little bit because there was rumors they were going to take Cross and they were going to trade him after that. Now they're saying there's rumors of him being traded eventually to the Steelers for who I don't know.
Steelers one of the 5 worst O lines in football right now, so that kind of tracks.
I think people don't realize the man is 6'7". 400 pounds means a completely different story for a man who is 6'7" than it does for somebody who is 6'3".
Okay, so here's the thing, right? So let's talk about this, right? So Jordan Mailata is 6'8". He's 350 pounds. He's almost got a six-pack.
Yeah, honestly, he looks too skinny to be a lineman.
Jordan Mailata is almost, but the problem is you realize he's 350 pounds. I watched him chuck Von Miller. I'm like,
I've also watched him get chucked by many a defensive end.
Yeah, it's like, but the thing is also, he also was one of the top-rated tackles last year in PFF, which Mailata to me is what he's like him and Lane Johnson are the same prototype, where they're just country boys who are built different. Mailata is an Australian country boy. They're built different. These guys were athletes that got bigger and they stayed lean, especially for an offense like Philadelphia, where it's like, okay, this tracks.
Yeah. But like, and then this whole thing with there's layers to this Becton thing. Yeah, he's 6'7", 400 pounds. Again, yeah, this is that as well. He's also still dealing with the cartilage damage from last year. So you can't, like, as a big guy, I can tell you who has had knee surgeries, you don't lose weight if you can't function with your knees. Mm-hmm. Like that is number one operating procedure. You have to be able to fully move your knees to be able to lose the weight.
All 3 of us had knee issues.
I've had 2. I have partially torn my patella. I've had to self rehab because I didn't have insurance in college, so there was no surgery. I manned it up. I self rehabbed it. By the way, one-legged leg press is the greatest thing for patella rehab of all time.
Yep. As long as you just don't go too heavy, and you're fine.
No, I did 90 pounds. Now I'm up to because now at this point it's almost healed. I'm up to 250 one-legged.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Ryan McCarthy with the facts.
Yo, seriously,
the media does hate the Jets.
Okay, so we'll talk about this. We still got a half hour left, but what do you? So the fight we'll do because last night I was on Kevin's show, right? And unless you got anything else to say about Becton, I have a new topic we can bring up. Top 5 most toxic fan media sources, media markets.
Are we talking? Oh, okay. We're talking like sports towns, not like specific media. Like
we're
reporters.
Talking towns because I'm throwing Philadelphia in there. I'm throwing New York in there.
You gotta throw Philly, New York in there.
Okay, so Philadelphia media hates the Eagles, and I don't understand why. Elliott Shore Parks, I want to hit that dude with about 1 or 2 right hooks.
The Daily News loves to trash the Jets, and I'm like,
the only sports paper I'll read for New York that actually gives the Jets any love is the Post.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Here's what's funny. You ask why the Philadelphia media hates the Eagles so much. It's actually not that they hate the Eagles. They hate the Eagles fans. This goes back to think about all those years where they had the open tryouts for the Eagles. Uh-huh. And how many times that was put on the news, and the news sources actually made fun of the Eagles for being such a defunct franchise that they were running open tryouts for general, like Joe Schmo down the road. Like that's part of the reason that there's a whole
Vince
media.
Papale.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, look, that's the whole reason there's an issue with the Eagles and the rest and the media there. Like Philadelphia fans just but they love the Sixers because the Sixers didn't do it.
Okay, so I'm part of like the Eagles counter media, right? I'm part of Eagles Twitter. So my boy Victor over at the Liberty Line, my boy Thomas Peterston, who is like one of the best film analysis people I've ever met in my life. This dude's crazy. I go to I DM him for Eagles film analysis. And the thing is, these guys are the counterculture. These guys are the anti Elliott Shore Parks and the anti Jeff Kerrs. Like these guys are like, so I met, it's like these guys are the ones who actually are Eagles fans, but are objective. New York, I just think everyone hates everybody.
Yeah, they all hate. They hate any success, any success and any failure. Like if there's a successful team, it's because it's not their team that they're mad. If it's a failure of a team, it's because it's their team that's failing. And it's like if they can't win to win. Chicago media is not much better either.
Chicago media is fucking terrible. Chicago media will shit on any team has success except for the Cubs. They love the Cubs out there.
Mm-hmm.
Not really.
Lately, no, not lately.
I'm sure they're eating up the White Sox with LaRusso over there.
Oh my god! You talk about a team who's gonna die because they have no fucking coaching.
It's just out of touch. I mean, like if this was like 20 years ago, probably be perfectly fine.
Dude, if this was 2002, this team would be probably almost at 100 wins already. They'd probably have like 10 losses.
But how sad is that to say if this was 20 years ago? Because the coach is that old.
Tony La Russa was the Diamondbacks president of operations for like 4 years when I was in college. That's how fucking old this dinosaur is.
I watched Tony La Russa when he was still managing the A's.
Oh, holy fuck! I remember that. It was like one of the first baseball games I ever watched was the A's and they were playing interleague against the Diamondbacks and La Russa was coaching.
You know what? Maybe if he'd stop dyeing his hair, maybe they'd just win.
Maybe he just stopped getting DUIs and hitting people with his car.
Holy fuck!
Maybe he just stay at home.
So in the first inning, Yordan Alvarez and Alex Bregman went back to back in home runs, and in the second inning, Yordan Alvarez doubles, scores 2 runs, and Bregman hits a single and also scores a run. So
what are they doing? Playing 3-man baseball right now,
dude.
Rough day to be a fucking Pinstripes fan, huh?
Yeah. Oh, thank you to Domingo Herman.
I think my team plays the Rockies tomorrow. I don't even fucking know who they're playing. I mean, I'm actually optimistic for Arizona. I love how like baseball media. You know what I love about baseball media?
You don't care about Arizona.
It's so localized. It's so localized. So, like, one of the guys I want to get on the show is the Just Baseball guys. They're talking about, like, the Diamondbacks getting rid of Merrill Kelly. Like, why would we get rid of our ace we have on their contract? We're not a last-place team. We're, like, 5 games out of third and, like, I think 7 games out of the wild card last spot.
No. Like, 8 games out of third.
You're a Giants fan. I forgot about that. Jeez, I hate all the teams you fucking like. Except for, I don't really mind Auburn. I just kind of, like, look at them like, God damn it, guys.
Listen, my favorite story is
we play Washington. Oh, my God. We get to start the season with Washington? Let's fucking go.
My favorite baseball story about a team being 8 games out of first when they were in third and coming back and just
the Tampa Bay Rays.
Playoffs. No. Even better. In 2003, the Milwaukee Brewers by the man of Stan
Ramirez team.
By the man of Stan Ross, Mr. 3000.
Oh my God! You're
talking
about the fucking movie. I was like, the Brewers were dog shit up until 2008.
For the viewers that don't know about this legend, he retired with 3,000 hits going into the Hall of Fame, and they called him back at 47 and said, "Listen, you got to come back. You're 3 hits short." Brought him back. They wound up being like 8 or 7 games behind first.
Bernie Mac.
And he came back, and you know what the man did? He stopped at 2,999 because he laid it down a sacrifice bunt to win the game of the playoffs.
R.I.P. to Bernie Mac. That dude gave me some of the funniest moments of all time for acting. His stand-up's fucking hysterical.
Oh, it's hilarious, especially when he would do the comedy tours with Cedric the Entertainer and everybody.
By the way, another actor whose stand-up is fucking phenomenal.
Oh, him, yeah. Martin Lawrence and Cedric the Entertainer and it's like D.L. Huey and Bernie Mac and Steve Harvey.
That's all good.
Yeah. That was honestly bring that if I could just get that in a oh God, what did they do with Tupac?
The hologram.
Yeah.
Can I get a hologram reproduction
Yo, right?
of
So my boy, one of my best friends, I work with him at my job right now. He is going to see Chris Rock I think Chris Rock and Kevin Hart at MSG on Saturday. I'm so fucking jealous.
Wow. I wonder how much those tickets were.
Oh, they were ridiculous. I think it was his girlfriend, who's also one of my best friends. The two of them are going. And he goes, he says to me today at lunch, he goes, "Hey, I've never been to Madison Square Garden. Is it indoor or outdoor?" I'm like, "It's indoor." He goes,
What did he say?
He's never been. Dude, he hates New York City. He's a country boy. He refuses to go into the city.
that's
he goes-
okay. That's fine.
He goes,
like
he goes, MSG, it's indoor. I'm like, it's indoor and it's air conditioned. He goes, "Oh, thank God. It's going to be 100 in the city on Saturday."
Oh man, that's
it's
some
the
good
mecca.
stuff.
Like, how do you not know?
Because the only sport he watches
MSG.
is pro football. He's a hunter. He's a sharpshooter. Like he shoots guns for fun, and he loves other jujitsu and other shit. He's not a big mainstream guy.
He no, he loves jujitsu. Perfect. Because guess what? One of the greatest karate tournaments ever held in the world was held at MSG.
I know.
Inside.
Okay, so he's not, he just does his own thing, man.
I said martial arts, not karate, but
I know. Yeah, I know. He watches UFC occasionally, but he's not as big into it as Matt is or my buddy Chris is.
They also have UFC at MSG if he just looks
Yeah.
at the roof. But anyways, I got the so when you're talking about DeGrom or whatever, very minor shoulder soreness that's giving him a setback. I think they wanted him to return by the Subway Series. Looks like his simulated game is getting pushed back, and not entirely sure if he's going to get activated by the middle of next week, maybe next weekend or so.
Okay,
But
so I have a theory.
So I'll say the 16th.
DeGrom is staging it, so he just opts out and goes in the free agency next year.
well, 100% he's opting out, and the pressure is on the Mets because
He doesn't wanna-
Steve Cohen's going to want to pay him whatever he wants to get paid. Sandy Olson is probably like, listen, I've seen this before. I went through this with Matt Harvey. Let's not go down this route. But if the Mets don't pay him what he wants, somebody is
DeGrom
going
gonna go to
out
another
there.
franchise and just light motherfuckers up.
Well, dude, I know he was hurt, but he finished the last.
He won't go to the Giants, Kelsey. I know. As long as he doesn't go to the Dodgers, me and Kelsey will be happy.
absolutely. The Dodgers, he can't go to the Dodgers, can't go to the Padres.
Okay,
Like
Kelsey, who's the baseball
Juan
team you hate
Soto,
the most in
same
the
thing.
world?
What?
Who's the baseball team you hate the most in the world?
Dodgers, without a question. Like
Same thing.
I will watch the Dodgers, but I will root for Alabama before I ever.
Oh no, the team I hate the most in
Root
all
for
of
the
sports is
Dodgers.
the LA Dodgers. I actually don't even hate the Cowboys as much as I hate the LA Dodgers.
Absolutely, yeah.
It goes in
100%.
my order of hatred. It goes LA Dodgers 1, Florida State Seminoles 2, then it's the Dallas Cowboys, then New Orleans Saints, then the Duke Blue Devils. Actually, no, Duke Blue Devils are in third before the Cowboys. I cannot stand Duke or Florida State, but I hate the Dodgers the most.
Honestly,
I still
don't
haven't
even hate the
forgiven them for
Commanders that
jumping to
much.
our pool in 2013. Like I've wanted every player on. I want Andre Ethier's head.
Maybe an unpopular take, but the Mets, they lose DeGrom, they still have an ace in Max Scherzer. They could go out and acquire another pitcher. They can go sign somebody, trade for somebody. I mean, not saying that
the
they
Mets
should.
have to cut bait with the old guard. They have to completely go New York Yankees on this. Just start buying into this, paying for everybody. Let DeGrom go, because the Mets unfortunately need to separate everything they had from the Wilpons. They need to get everything away from it.
They're going to get a turnover with the pitching staff because DeGrom's going to opt out. There's no way you bring Chris Bassett back after this year. And Taijuan Walker's in a contract year and just hired Scott Boras as his
Taijuan
agent.
Walker.
I love when I hear a pitcher in a contract year hire Scott Boras as agent, and it's just all that means to me is this man is about to walk
He's
away
gonna
from
get
the
paid,
season,
bro.
and he's gonna have a whole bunch of zeros after his net worth now.
All I know is that that Taijuan Walker trade with Seattle got us Ketel Marte. So thank you, Seattle.
Yeah.
If I'm
how bad are the Mets though that even a kid coming out of college refuses to sign with you,
That shit blew me away. Okay, we talk
and
about the
for
draft
an
for a second?
entire year he doesn't
Can we
do
talk about
anything
the
for an
draft for a
entire
second?
year.
Like, I was like the happiest kid alive on Sunday. My D-backs beat the who they beat? It's Padres. They beat the Padres, and then we get the number one prospect in the draft in Drew Jones, who's probably going to play before he hits his 21st birthday, which would make me ecstatic.
And the fact that I didn't realize until after I told you I liked him because how his name Drew is spelled Andrew Jones, Andruw, the former baseball player. That's his kid.
Yeah.
Three lineage
Four.
kids went back to back.
Yeah.
Was it 4? Because I know Holiday.
Lou something, whatever his kid's name was. He played for the Brewers for like 10 years. Whatever's the fucking, I can't think of the name right now. Matt sent me the meme. It was like 4 guys.
Yeah.
Oh. And then I know, but then also Buck Showalter's nephew
Grandson.
or son,
Grandson.
Yeah, he also got drafted. Like I felt so old when I'm watching Matt Holliday's son get drafted, and I'm like, I remember when Matt Holliday, Andrew Jones' son's getting drafted. I remember when Andrew Jones came, John Rocker's son, coming back, like getting drafted again. Like I used to model my pitching after John Rocker, which this is before the crazy commentary. This was just him being an outstanding.
I
closer.
modeled my after Heath Bell.
See, that just shows you how young you are.
Well, also I had a disgusting slider and I threw hard, and I was a heavy dude.
Yeah. Like I pitched at like when I closed, I had the mentality of a John Rocker where it's just like throw as hard as you can and hit corners.
Mine was get you with my slider, my fastball, my 2-seam, and then throw a slurve in there to make you look stupid.
Yeah. It was sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Matt Holliday, Andrew Jones, Justin Crawford, and Luke Collier. That were the players whose sons were drafted. So you got Jackson Holliday, Drew Jones, Justin Crawford, and Cam Collier.
Yeah. And then you add in Kamal Rocker back.
Kamal Rocker and Elijah Green.
Yep. Oh, is that Khalil Green's son?
I believe so, yeah.
Holy,
I love
that's
that
a name.
these legacy players are playing. Like I loved seeing what's his name? Bichette come back. Vlad Jr. I remember seeing a highlight video of Vlad Jr. when he was 14. I was a freshman.
Yeah. I remember.
This kid's my age. He's hitting bombs. He's 2 years younger. He's hitting bombs this far. Oh fuck!
I remember when he was like 15 or 16, and there was all these rumors that the Mets are going to be giving this kid like a contract, giant contract, signing him out of whatever, and all of a sudden, boom, fucking Toronto of all teams. Toronto.
His dad started his career in Canada too.
I don't give a fuck about. He started with Expos. Expos are dead.
Well, here's the thing: is would you rather the you just hate the Blue Jays, but like, listen, fuck, I could not deal with this man losing his career to the Mets.
Well, there's not just those guys, but then there's a group coming up soon. You're gonna have the sons of Pedro, Manny Ramirez, and
Gary
Big Papi,
Gary
Sheffield. All like they're all playing on the youth team.
That team is fucking stacked.
Yeah,
dude, their tickets for high school they charge for them now.
Dude, yeah, and did you see the tickets they were charging for this showcase game that they were all playing in?
Oh, it was $70 for like a nosebleed.
For retail, resale value on the street. Guys were charging upwards of $300.
So all of them are playing in the Cape Cod League next year. Martha's Vineyard Sharks. Their stadium is 5 minutes from my vacation house. I'm probably gonna sneak out there for a weekend to go watch them play.
It's insane, dude. I literally keep watching it. I'm like, I keep feeling super old every time I see these kids playing because I remember when David Ortiz was in the minor leagues, and I remember Manny in the minor leagues.
Joe Mauer was in the minor leagues.
Dude, I actually watched Joe Mauer play in the minor leagues for Minnesota's farm system.
Which one? Because
they were the Salt Lake Buzz at the time.
Okay, so that was the Triple A team, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so their Double A teams, the New Britain Rockcats, was up by me and Matt.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I remember Garrett. You guys remember Garrett Jones played for the Yankees and Pirates?
Yep.
I have his autographed batting glove in my room. Him and Adam Jones, before he got traded to the Orioles system, I watched him hit a home run too.
I miss Adam Jones.
Dude, the year he played for Arizona made me so happy because I loved him as a player, and the fact I got to see him play for my team for 1 year was awesome.
Then he got injured and quit. He's just like, you know what, I'm done.
Listen, I don't blame him for that shit.
Yeah, no, I don't blame him either.
Listen, then we traded Sterling Marte to the Marlins for nothing, and now he's an all-star again, and Arizona looks like a bunch of jackasses. Oh, wait. But the only thing is, like, I don't really get mad about us. Like, I'm hoping we get rid of David Peralta. Not because I don't love Freight Train. It's because, like, give him to the Yankees because we have Corbin Carroll in the minors waiting. We have Drew Jones will probably be up by next June to play with Alec Thomas and Dalton Varsho. Like, we'll have a loaded outfield within, like, a year. Number 3 overall prospect, Corbin Carroll. Alec Thomas was number 22 in Baseball America. and then we have now with Drew Jones. That's a fucking terrifying outfield. Also, ain't no fly balls falling in Chase Field because like all three of those dudes can fucking run.
Well, let's be honest. There's not very many fly balls falling in the outfield of Chase Field, anyways.
Let's
they're
be
falling
honest.
over the fence.
I love that ballpark though, Casey. I know it's a fucking home run trap.
It's so bad, dude. I've never seen a center field that's 404 play like it was 330 before. Like,
here's the craziest thing,
so
right?
bad.
So I was talking to my boss the other day because he's my manager. He's a diehard Yankees fan. And then one of our contractors is a diehard Mets fan. We're talking about Chase Field. I'm like, listen, the way the Diamondbacks won in the previous years was you either need to be a power pitcher, ridiculous stuff, or you need to have a breaking ball that is broken, like a Brandon Weber, Dan Herron, or
Kurt Schilling,
Schilling, or even like Robbie Ray. Or you need to be like a Randy Johnson, where you just blow dudes away with a 102 mile an hour fastball and a 98 mile an hour slider. And he's like, yeah. And it's like, why is Merrill Kelly so good? I'm like, because his changeup is disgusting, and his placement is impeccable. Merrill Kelly has pitched better this year than Zach Greinke ever did for Arizona.
He has the biggest break on a changeup recorded this season. And it's like a
ridiculous.
12-inch break inside.
I want to know how he fucking grips it.
I think he splits it. He does the box change. So it's the
so he throws Lincecum come through it.
No, not the circle. It's a box. Okay. So you throw it like this. So it's split finger. These two.
Okay, that explains a lot because that's that downward that like.
But it sits deep in your palm, and that's what it looks like that he throws. And honestly, he just puts pressure at different points.
Because he only hits about 93 on the gun, but he fucking looks nasty. Also, not the Jersey's own Zach Gallen for having a bounce back season. Thank God.
Yeah, thank God because he's on my keeper team, and he
Zach Gallen, when he came back last year, made me cry how bad he was. Enough about the Diamondbacks. Nobody fucking cares. Boys, it's time for the best time of the day, brought to you by our great folks at eatsofficial.com. Promo code Korner Booth, 10% off. It is time for everyone's favorite segment. It's time to get mad or get happy, depending on how you want to put on the dartboard here. It's the Korner Booth dartboard. Let's kick it. All right, Matthew, who you got this week?
I think I'm going to just put the Cleveland Browns front office on there. You even to backtrack, you go out and you trade a lot of compensation for a quarterback that has 30 plus pending, sexual assault cases. One, he settled like I don't know how many of them, which tells me if you got to settle, I mean, are you really innocent? What are you trying to hide if you're trying to settle all this shit? So you trade all that compensation for this guy, knowing he's not going to play. You've got Baker Mayfield, who had one injury-riddled season, like you mentioned, and they ship him off after he got them their first playoff berth and victory in like 2 decades. Then, so you bring in Jacoby Brissett, who's going to be the starter because Watson is going to get some sort of suspension, whatever it's going to be. That's a valuable backup quarterback. I mean, he's got a lot of starting experience as a quarterback, and he's not a bad quarterback. Like, I don't want him as my franchise quarterback, but if he needed to step in for a season, he's not a bad option at all. He's won games in the Indianapolis, and he's looked good in Indianapolis. But this man needs the best protection in the world. This man needs to not even get freaking flicked, because if he gets any sort of injury, the Cleveland Browns and their fan base have Josh Rosen to look at. Josh Rosen, a former 10th overall pick in the 2018 draft, has probably had one of the worst careers of a quarterback could have since like Ryan Leaf. 9 mistakes ahead of him. Yeah.
You know what's okay? Well, now you're sad. Honestly, you can't even really blame Josh Rosen for all of it. But for at least a good 50% of it, though, you can still kind of blame him.
Yeah, I would raise that to an even 60, but I would say 40% of it is not his fault.
Yeah, like that Cardinals team was. Honestly, that was not a good Cardinals team. Like that line in front of him was not good, and they had Larry Fitzgerald was it.
But if you were to put him on the Tampa Bay Bucks or the Rams with the defense and that offense, how many games are they winning with Josh Rosen?
8 max.
Probably the same as they did with Jared Goff if he put him on the Rams.
And those 8 max is probably because of the defense.
Goff's got a better arm than Rosen.
But point to the whole dartboard thing is there's no way that you put your trust in Josh Rosen as a backup quarterback right now. Tom Brady couldn't even fix him when he was down in Tampa. I'm putting the Cleveland Browns on the dartboard because I'm I'm 99% positive there. You could have just been like, hey, Fitzpatrick, I'll give you $10 million for the year to come out of retirement and just be the backup. You may not even have to play. Just come in and be the third string guy. You get Josh Rosen. So I'm putting the Cleveland Browns on the dartboard because this entire year has been nothing but just step backs for them.
Yeah. All right, Kelsey, who are you throwing up here tonight?
Dude, I actually got two. So I have NFL / Ticketmaster for the debacle that is the ticket sales for the Seahawks and Bucks game in Germany. Not being prepared for it at all, only selling half of their allocation and doing so in 10 minutes at the time of release, but then keeping the website up, running, and allowing people to get in the queue for another 24 hours, causing issues and hassles on top of it. They will have a second release now later on, but they were not prepared for it at all. So that's number one. But number two is the most egregious in my eyes is the Madden raters out there. Whoever's doing the Madden ratings,
Ooh,
can we have their jobs? They're fucking terrible.
They're absolutely trash. I can name like 5 right now off the top of my head. Mika Fitzpatrick not even being on the list,
which is asinine.
Wow. Tyrann Mathieu being the best safety in the league.
Javon Hargrave not even being ranked in the defensive tackle ratings.
Correct. Also, Darius Leonard, 5th best. No.
He's the best linebacker in football by a mile.
Zeke being on the top 10? No. And then last but not freaking least, Derrick Henry is faster than Tony Pollard?
What about Jamar Chase not even being ranked in the top 10?
I didn't even want to include him because it's so egregious.
They got Jamal Adams as a 7th highest safety.
Jamal Adams is just an outside linebacker. He's a striker. He's not even an outside linebacker anymore.
Harrison Smith is decrepit and old and can only just basically really hit somebody if they're standing right in front of him and not moving, is considered a top 10 safety. I have so many problems with their safety list, but like I would take safeties 2 through 6 on that list, so down to Justin Simmons and Jesse Bates on their top 10 safeties list before I would take Tyrann Mathieu. And then I'd also put Minka at number 1.
So this is why I love having you on your show, because you are one of the smartest human beings I know when it comes to football and everything else in between. And I love having you. I know you're always a busy man. That's why I don't actually complain. When we get you on, always good. Shout out to our boy Zach Mack. He tried to make it out here tonight. The poor kid got stuck at work. It's what happens, man. He works in tech, man.
Dude,
it kills.
It is. It's hard. It's hard finding free time during. Yeah.
How was Kelsey not a 99?
He can't block.
Because I'm too busy at work. Sorry.
They didn't even give TJ Watt a 90.
Nobody.
I think 96. And
I got your joke, buddy.
I've said it twice now in the episode, and just like nobody's batting an eye at it.
I get it.
2 hours. Oh my god, almost an hour and
Took
a half.
me a minute.
For me, man. Well, one quick update news. By the way, Michael Thomas, we're talking about Madden rankings, who got ranked above Jamar Chase, starting the season on the PUP.
Wait, Jared, I have something that's gonna piss you off.
Oh, great.
So Dallas Goedert's an 85 overall. Guess who's an 86? Mike Gesicki.
They put Jack Conklin over him.
Well,
Dallas Goedert,
Mike Gesicki.
Dallas Goedert. Okay, Mike Gesicki can't block a cold, much less a defensive lineman. Okay, second of all,
Dallas Goedert can't block a cold or a hook shot either.
He's one of the top-rated run blockers of the last 5 years.
This dude is still concussed from getting knocked out in South Dakota.
Yeah, he's still one of the best tight ends in football. He's at least top 10, not even top 7.
He's not that good.
He's disgusting when he plays. The problem is
he doesn't play.
Also, he gets to play along. Also, by the way, the Eagles.
He's on the CMC diet. Which that's another one. Thank
you for bringing that up.
I don't even need to get in the running back category because Jonathan Taylor
not 2.
You know what? No,
Jonathan Taylor almost broke. Like literally, he split carries for half the season, almost broke the rushing record.
Yeah, no, there's so many. I don't even want to see the quarterback list when it comes out.
So
like when the quarterbacks drop,
I'll make a pact. We need to apply Madden's ranking of advisors because this is bullshit. This is awful.
Yeah,
we're 3 very intelligent men when it comes to football. Honestly, the 3 of us could literally do play-by-play on football games. We just bring DJ in for all the shit that I can't compute because he's basically Daniel Jeremiah 2.0. He's the Neuralink, and we'll be good. By the way, tell DJ I said hello to Kelsey.
The door's shut. Sorry.
It's all good.
Wow, they gave Nick Folk.
Because listen, DJ is one of the very few people where I think I have a very high football IQ. Like I watch it religiously. It's like a religion to me. I talk to DJ. I'm like, holy fuck, I'm fucking stupid.
Oof. They gave
Not
Nick
just,
Folk a
it's
top
not just
10 rating.
football, but like honestly, I talk Madden. Like we'll talk Madden, and like he has the ins and outs of Madden too. Like the footstep a man breaks on a corner, he knows exactly how to do it, so you never get picked off. And I'm like, this is not fair. And speaking of which, I'm just gonna spoiler alert that we haven't announced yet, but we're on Korner Booth. This is what we do, right? We're gonna be working on a 23 Madden League franchise.
I will be
we're gonna do
joining.
a 32
buying the
team.
game. What
We'll
do you?
be
What's,
doing a 32.
what system?
Well, we're on advanced S, Series S X.
Okay, because you
Xbox.
can still do. I can still join my Xbox One.
I think you can. I think they've put in crossplay for this year. We have to
Okay,
check.
because I'm getting 20. I'm not buying an S or an X until probably next year. I want my truck and I want to move out and then I'll buy it.
Dog, they were on sale for Prime Days for like $200.
Bro, how much money I had in my account on Prime Day? Almost less than a G. Okay, I'm trying to make money again. I had to go almost 3 months without a full scale paycheck. I was bleeding money for 3 months.
Oh, dude, remember we talked
Well,
about
because I told Kelsey, you were on the show with me when I told you I was getting laid off.
Yeah.
And I finally got a new job, and like my first paycheck, which is almost a G, is coming in tomorrow. I'm like, so many bills. I still have to pay my buddy off. I still have to pay Mr. Maserati off. He paid for 11th row tickets for Packers Eagles Sunday Night Football in Philly. So I still have to pay him off for those. I'm staying over. And by the way, my PTO doesn't kick in until October, so I'm taking that Monday off. I'm literally going to enjoy Philadelphia. I love that city. Just I know it because I know what sections to stay away from.
All of them?
Actually, no. Just stay away from that one that looks like a zombie row. That one section, and you stay away from Meek Mill's neighborhood. You're good.
All right, good to know.
Just stay in the historical district or where all the hotels are. You're fine. For my last call, it's the MLB and ESPN. I gotta go back to the home run derby, guys. You had a genius chance to bring baseball back. Okay, Julio Rodriguez and Albert Pujols were two storylines that you could have just milked. Clearly, you were rigging the fucking thing, so might as well just rigged it for Pujols and let Julio Rodriguez meet him in the playoffs. Old versus new. Julio Rodriguez is going to lead the league in home runs within the next 3 years. That boy has nothing but rip shit power. Like, it's a right-handed Ken Griffey Jr. without, like, the weird hitch in the swing, but whatever, it's a whole nother thing. And then the fact that, like, all these bettors are finding out they basically were rigging home runs. They were basically, like, not calling certain ones, not counting certain ones. It was like, what the fuck? What was I witnessing? I turn off my TV. I have to be up at 5:15 every morning to go to work because I open up the yard at 7 a.m. So I was pissed off as fuck making my coffee the next morning, making my breakfast, making everything else so I could just get up and go. And I'm sitting there on Monday night like, no, fuck Rob Manfred. And fuck whoever runs ESPN now. This is why Barstool and like all these smaller companies like Bleacher Report and even Belly Up Sports eventually are gonna take your lunch meat. We're done. This is why old sports media is dying. That's why Fox Sports and NBC Sports stick off to the edges because they know that ESPN has a fucking apocalypse coming, and it's shit like this. Like, sports betting is legal in like half the states in America now. You cannot fuck with a game like that when you're costing so many people so much fucking money when they can see it's fucked up. It's just not a good look. I fuck ESPN. I was a finalist at that company 7 years ago or 5 years ago, whatever it was, 2019. So 4. It doesn't fucking matter. Either way, my brain's fucking shot. I was supposed to work at the ACC network. These fuckers are unprofessional. They are terrible. And I honestly cannot wait to watch them crash and burn.
And whatever you get paid now at your job is probably more than whatever you would have gotten paid.
Yeah, actually, no, it was the same. I was going to get paid $17 an hour.
When I was applying to ESPN, they didn't list any of their salaries online, and I found out from people that I met that have or were working there at the time when I applied, and I was telling them about the positions, and they're like, "Yeah, $37,000 a year max." I'm like, "No,
dude, I'm on tap to make 40, and all I do is sell freaking gravel, mulch, and bluestone to contractors."
Dude,
yeah, you want to know the best decision I ever made in my life was getting out of journalism school and going directly into sales. Because J school books you at $37K max, and then
for
getting out of that
80% of your life. Then
Yeah.
when you're like 60, you get like 10. You get like a nice cushy job somewhere as
until
an
you become
editor.
head of or
And then you get maybe
editor-in-chief,
50, and then you're
and then-
miserable, and you get divorced at least
Yeah.
3 or 4 times. Is the whole bullshit. But
No
listen,
no family.
yeah, right. Fuck that shit. Fuck old school journalism. Not like the muckraker journalism. I'm talking like journalism between 1990 and 2000. I'd say 19.
So you were
Like,
you were not a fan of our sophomore journalism teacher then, the one with the gray comb over. Cannot
I
remember his
told him to
name.
go fuck himself, Matt. By the way,
Yeah, didn't he get caught like jerking off in his fucking window?
he did, and that's
Yeah.
why I never had respect for this guy. On top of
Yeah.
the fact that he's a liberal. Sack
Oh,
of
I'm
shit.
sorry, Kelsey doesn't know, so he's
Time out. Whoa, that's a way to end the show right there. Holy
Oh,
crap.
one of our old professors from Southern, like we found out because it was all in the on Google and everything. We had to look up his name, whatever his name was, but he apparently was caught like fucking jerking off when he was in his home, but he was in the window and the neighbors and everybody saw him doing it. And apparently people said he just like waved to him as if he didn't know they knew what he was doing, and they just. I think he got some sort of like.
Also, like our entire journalism, Matt switched majors like a smart human being because basically they were teaching us this outdated, underdeveloped theory of what journalism should be instead of what it actually was turning into. They were pushing us to work for newspapers.
Yeah,
Yep.
they wanted us to go like.
Okay, so Matt, fun
register.
fact. So Matt, out of the 3 classes, so in journalism, if you graduate on time, you're like a miracle child. So I was apparently.
Mhm.
So 2016, 2017, 2018, the classes I took classes with, like the people I knew, you know how many people actually still have a job in media? That's not like 2.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, our boy Chris from WSIN, Chris Raza works for MLB Network after getting his master's and grinding for 3 years as a beat guy.
Mm-hmm.
Alex fell backwards into a fucking job at NBC Sports after going sober and going clean and being a manager at Old Navy for a couple years. The rest of them are either in sales or in customer service. I'm in both, or are just in any dead end career. Because the problem is journalism school doesn't teach you shit unless you're from Northwestern Texas, Oregon, LSU, Northeastern, Florida. You need to be from a big school, have connections to go to these places.
It's not that it doesn't teach you shit. It's just that you don't have the connections. So it teaches you something. It teaches you the correct way to do it. It just doesn't give you the stepping stool
That's
that
why,
a Syracuse
I love when
gives you.
I talk to these podcasts on my so I'm going to throw a couple former Belly podcasts under the bus quick as we roll out of here. And I've told Mike and Blaine this 1,000 times. I know some of these dudes complain like, who's this 27-year-old kid who's green as hell telling me what to do on a podcast? I'm like, bro, I did 4 years play-by-play, live radio shows, and then I've done 4 years of podcast. I have been doing broadcasting so long that I've seen everything on maybe on a small level, but I know how to act as a professional. I know what to look for. And I have friends who do it at the high level. My friend Frank, by the way, just shout out to Frank Michael Smith, friend of the show. He's coming on. Him and his boy Chef Roy are coming on next month or so. Frank wants to be out for a football preview, Matt.
Okay.
I'm kind of trying to coerce him into it because he's a Steelers fan. So it's gonna be a rough year for him. But these guys are in juice media. These guys are taking over like social media, Snapchat, YouTube, whatever. And you know what Frank does? He started his own thing during COVID with TikTok and YouTube. Not this fucking like working for the Pittsburgh Gazette bullshit. They're all Pittsburgh boys. And you know what? Fuck journalism school. Fuck these old outdated professors. Well, listen, we got to roll. We want to give a quick shout out to our man Kelsey for coming by. High Low Sports. You can check them out. They do episodes every Wednesday live at 8 o'clock, right?
Every Wednesday live at 8 o'clock.
Listen, him and the Human Computer DJ, they are so much fun to watch. I try to watch anytime I can. The problem is they're on the same time as Craft Brew, so I have to have 2 screens. It's a real rough time.
Hey, you can always catch our recordings or our audio the next day.
I do listen to you guys driving into work a lot. And also, you can find Matt at Big West, me at Belly Up Jared. Give a shout to Belly Up Sports, Belly Up Media. Oh, by the way, go on to Belly Up Sports Media and sign up for Alex's Lemonade Stand fantasy football fundraiser. I'm in it. Matt will be in it. Kelsey's in it. It is just a great charity. It's a great cause. I completely spaced out this morning. Got screamed up by one of our bosses for good reason because I'm a space cadet. But listen, it's a great charity. It's up there with like St. Jude and all the other great like things. They just do good stuff for people and for children and everything else. So shouts to our sponsors, Yeats and Canada Dips. We appreciate you stopping by. I got to go jump in a cold shower because it is hotter than Miami's asshole up here. So we'll catch you later. We'll be back. Me and Matt will be back Tuesday. We may have a new third member for our show for a couple weeks because this kid wants to try his luck in podcasting. But appreciate y'all stopping by. We catch y'all later and drink responsibly and do not drive and drink. So there you go. Peace.